Laurie Gardner, the co-chair of tonight's event, is going to present awards in a few minutes, but I'm going to take a little more time. My first comments, as you may remember, I recognized and thanked that on behalf of Blandford, the Wege Foundation, our stalwart supporter and crown jewel sponsor tonight. As many of you know, Peter Wege, the founder of the Wege Foundation, passed away recently. There is no award that we could give to Mr. Wege that would be adequate as recognition for all he's done for our community, all he's done for Blandford, all he's done for the cause of our environment. We assume he's receiving appropriate celestial awards, but I did want to mention that the Wege Foundation started with Peter M. Wege, and we must recognize all he's done for all of us at Blandford, for our community, and for our environment. So, thank you, Mr. Wege. Laurie's going to present several awards in a minute, but I'd like to mention an award that Jason Meyer received. I'll call it Trade Association for Nature Center Administrators in the United States. It's called ANCA, American Nature Center Administrators, I think is what it stands for. This year, for the first time, awarded the Outstanding Young Leader Award to a Nature Center Administrator in the United States. This is a national award. And the recipient of that award was Jason Meyer. Now, I have to mention that Anushka Steinman was ineligible for this award because she was on the board of directors of ANCA. Might have been a close contest between them. But in any event, our new president, Jason Meyer, is the first winner of the ANCA Outstanding Young Leader Award. So we're very pleased about that, as well as I said earlier, all the other reasons we're pleased about Jason. And so I wanted to mention to all of you, he wouldn't mention this himself, that he is the recipient of that award. Now I'd like to introduce Laurie Gardner, without whom this event would not have taken place.
I guess I do have to take this off somehow. Yeah. Okay, there you go. For people who are vertically challenged like me. That is not true, because this would not have taken place without a fantastic committee. Committee members, raise your hands, wave, all of you. And also the staff here, which we've already mentioned. We could not have done it without them. They're fantastic. I also wanted to just say, I can't tell you how many of you have said to me tonight, well, I haven't been out here in years, or I haven't been out here since I took my children here when they were little. It's time to come back. There are 4 miles of trails for you to explore, and there are 143 acres, which is bigger than Meyer Gardens. So you have a lot to do out here, and we welcome you to the farm, to the back 40, to the meadows, to the West Trail Loop. Just come out here this fall, bring children, bring grandchildren, become members. Enjoy it, because it is a real jewel, which is why we give a Crown Jewel Award to some important people who are well-deserving of this. And tonight, we are pleased to give 2 Crown Jewel Awards to 2 remarkable, iconic, and deserving individuals. Both of them have been longtime champions and friends of Blandford Nature Center, and critically important to the center from the very beginning, its very first roots, to its continued growth, its longevity, and the broad impact it's had in our community and on many, many lives. They both have inspired thousands of children, families, and adults over their many years of involvement, teaching, guiding, engaging, inspiring, and advocating for our collective understanding and appreciation for and the commitment to the stewardship of our natural environment. They both have done so with a depth of knowledge that is unsurpassed, and with endless enthusiasm, energy, passion, dedication, and this one is an ouch, decades. That's combined. Many organizations announce award recipients before their event, hoping to attract lots of people. Well, we evidently did that without doing so, and I'm glad to say that. But these two are particularly humble in nature, and we wanted to respect that, and decided not to announce in advance out of respect to them, so it's a total surprise to them too. And so I'm pleased to award these to two people who neither of whom really need an introduction because they're icons in our community. And along with this incredible nature center, they are truly jewels in our midst. So, excuse me. Our first Crown Jewel Award is greatly deserved, and it is a true pleasure for me to give to Rick Gillette. Can you come up here? See? I haven't even done anything yet. Yay. Oh, good. I haven't even said a word. Thank you. I just said to him, Rick, I haven't even said anything yet. Some of you may have been one of Rick's former students. Anybody out here who was a former student? Yay! Some of you might be parents of a former student. Yay! Lots of you out there, too. Or you may just know of Rick because his reputation is far and wide. How many of you are out there? Yeah? Yeah, okay. So Rick's skill and talent as an educator and a naturalist, an environmental advisor for many organizations, truly is widely known and sought after and revered. And I think that's evident. Rick, along with Adela Beckman, a dearly beloved teacher, were the beloved master teachers who, following the lead of Larry Fiegel, built the Blandford Environmental Education Program. Some of you know it as BEEP, for Grand Rapids Public Schools over 40 years ago. For 25 years, they creatively and ingeniously used the Nature Center as their classroom. Rain, shine, or snow, sleet, freezing rain, it didn't matter, the kids were outside, becoming a model program for other districts while influencing the lives of hundreds of sixth graders. Students from years ago will tell you that this life-changing educational experience with Mr. G was a pivotal year in the direction of their education, their careers, their philosophies of life, and their lifelong appreciation and stewardship of the natural world. From trail guiding visitors, leaf and wildflower identifying, birding, maple syrup tapping, building wigwams, dugout canoes, learning how to wash dishes in a unique way at Camp Roger, learning about Injun Joe, it could go on and on. Rick continues to inspire our children into their adulthood, and all of us too, with his love and passion for nature and for teaching. And thanks to Facebook, Rick is still in touch with almost all of those hundreds of kids, and some of their parents too.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not done with you yet. Sorry. Okay, there's more. Just retired from developing and teaching the environmental program in another district, and in between managing his farm, his volunteer work, and his commitments to environmental organizations, Rick now has more time to continue as a champion of Blandford and all that it has to offer to you and to our community. With gratitude and appreciation for all that you have done here, please join me in congratulating Rick as he receives the 2014 Crown Jewel Award.
sign it.
Okay,
There you go.
there we go.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you
want to
very
say
much.
something? Go ahead.
Oh, I really am. It's such an honor to be a part of Blandford. And really, all my adult life, this was my second home. And what Mary Jane, gave me the opportunity through creating Blandford School, or the BEAT program, that allow me to have my adult life spending with kids in the out of doors. And there isn't anything better, in my opinion. I feel very lucky and very fortunate. Thank you.
I'll trade you. Okay. Our second Crown Jewel Award is equally and happily bestowed upon Mary Jane Dockery. You see what I mean? These are humble people. This is not their usual place. You're out in the wilderness, yes. Mary Jane grew up playing in this very land and ultimately became the founder, the teacher, the former director, and lifelong champion of Blandford Nature Center. Many of you have been inspired by her teachings at institutions throughout our community and beyond. You may even have had the good fortune of a unique educational trek to the UP, or even to Ireland with Mary Jane. With continued devotion, energy, and passion to this day, Mary Jane continues to teach here, as well as in other communities around the state and the country. She is in constant demand as an advisor, a speaker, a teacher, a geologist, a naturalist, and a historian. She serves on the Nature Center, our Nature Center's board of directors, and is a regular volunteer here and constant advocate for this magic place. Blandford Nature Center seriously would not be here today if it were not for Mary Jane's vision, her spirit, and energetic advocacy for so many years. And so long ago, when she was brave enough, just a minute.
That's a good word.
Yes.
I might have few more other ones.
Oh my gosh, if I don't have the next page, what will I do? She was brave enough to ask Mr. Blandford for that original 10 acres of land, which has now become 143 acres. Seriously. Mary Jane's bio, including credentials and many national and international honors, is so all-encompassing that we could be here all night, literally, Jason, literally. We could be here all night and only scratch the surface. So I will encourage each of you to simply buy a copy of her just published book, appropriately named for a geologist as Rock On Lady. This is a fabulous autobiography, but it's also a really wonderful history about Blandford. You will learn about the wonders of her personal story and the incredible impact on bringing Blandford Nature Center to life almost 50 years ago. You'll learn the story of the land, the acquisition, the trails, the ponds, the creeks, the farm, the wildlife, the historic buildings, the mapping of the trails, the maple tape, it is. All the programs about this jewel that you and your families have enjoyed all these years, thanks to this wonderful woman, and hopefully will continue to enjoy for many more. Please join me in congratulating Mary Jane.
I'll give you your award.
You have 2 seconds. No.
You know, I don't know where I picked up a sheet of paper one day at the Nature Center. It was plans for tonight, and it said, Mary Jane Dockery, don't give her more than 1 minute. I saw that. I probably wasn't supposed to, but anyhow. But any of you who have been around me for any time, and it's been a long time, know that I don't have any off button about this place. My middle name, I've said to so many people, should be Serendipity, because I have not done it. It's been people like you. It's been people that I never, ever would have imagined would have had any interest in this place. It's just amazing what has gone on. And one of the things, in fact, Peter Wegge's name has come up so often, he even has a hand or more in the publishing of these memoirs, because it's kind of a expensive business to put out a book, and he's got a hand in that too, and it's just amazing. I'm glad I did it. I didn't expect to publish anything. There's a lot of cute animal stories in it too that you might like. Yeah, Edgar Allan Crow and Spike the Porcupine and all those. I started out just thinking about some of the things that happened out here, and then it went back and back and back and on and on and on, and I'm not gonna. Thank you.
Mary Jane is quite nimble, as you can see. So once again, please join me in congratulating both Rick and Mary Jane on these Crown Jewel Awards. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh yeah, my turn again. Wow. Rick, Mary Jane, congratulations. And thank you for everything that you've done for us. So we've heard a little bit about the past. Mary Jane's past is a little bit longer than everybody else's. By the way, Mary Jane, thank you, because I wouldn't be here today without you. Right? So, no. But we always have to think not just about the past and respect the past, but think about the future and respect the future as well. And so I am going to introduce Taylor Cook at this point. Taylor, as I mentioned earlier, has been with us for a long time out here at Blandford. Taylor, where are you? Oh, good, he didn't leave. Come on up. I was kind of worried. Now, I'm going to be honest with the group. When I asked Taylor if he would do this, he almost jumped up and down and said yes, which really surprised me for a 17-year-old who wanted to get up here and talk. I don't know if that was a red flag or not, so I thought to myself, as the new president who needs to come out and put his best foot forward, maybe we should test this out. And so I had Taylor come in and do a practice speech with us, and he hit it out of the park. And I thought, now I'm not putting any pressure on you here, Taylor. I thought, well, maybe that was a fluke. So he came in today and he stood right up here and delivered a grand slam. And so I'm confident, Taylor, that you can make these people open their hearts and open their wallets tonight.
Sounds good.
To support people just like you. Take it over.
Now, before I begin, I just have to warn you, I'm going to take your job. It's going to happen. Okay. Blandford's mission statement is to educate, engage, and empower. And it's something that I think every staff member here thinks about all day, every day. It's something we all strive to do. Blandford has an amazing opportunity to provide everybody of all ages with the greatest gift possible, nature. I started getting educated here myself when I was 6 years old. I was a frequent at Blandford summer camps. I went to every single one they offered. And I must tell you that they gave me a gift, and it's the gift of nature, and it's a love that I still have to this day, and I'm 100% sure that that love started here at Blandford. I remember one particular lesson about leaves. Our counselors took us out in the woods and started tearing apart leaves and showing us all the vascular structures inside. And I was just so fascinated about how leaves gather nutrients from the sun and how photosynthesis works that I tried as hard as I could to learn everything about plants. I went to the library and got books. I'd go outside and I'd draw plants. It engaged me. It captivated me. And it's something that I still love. I try growing every type of plant I can. And I really thank Blandford for that opportunity because it's hard to engage a 6-year-old about photosynthesis. I'm not going to lie. So it seemed natural to me that when I started looking at university programs for botany, that I remembered where my love for nature really started. And I remembered Blandford, and I thought I should see if they have volunteer applications. Turned out they did. And when it asked for interests, there was a box you could check. Do you want to work in the blacksmith shop? Do you want to do invasive species? I turned it in, and I checked every box. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. It empowered me to volunteer here. And one of the number one reasons I volunteer here is because I think I can bring joy back to people. And it's the joy that Blandford gave to me when I was younger and still continues to give me. Just before this, I was walking through the trails, and it calmed my nerves so much, and I just thought, these grounds are magical, and they make people magical. It is truly a jewel. So I just want to thank you all for coming out. And I implore you, bring a friend, bring a kid, bring a grandchild, anybody you can think of. Give them the gift of nature. And with your help, we can continue doing this. We can continue bringing joy and let people visit our jewel.
As you look at a satellite image of Grand Rapids, you will probably notice that one feature is generally missing. Yes, there are all the things you'd expect in a large city: buildings, neighborhoods, businesses, and even a fair number of city parks. And for all their value, every one of these features is controlled, made by humans, and you could say, tame. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything you could call wilderness, any corner you might hold up as a good example of a natural environment. And then, there's Blandford Nature Center. Blandford is an oasis in an ever-growing, always encroaching urban environment. Blandford stands alone as perhaps the last refuge for children from the inner city to experience, close by, what it means to be in nature. You probably wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't think this special place was worth preserving. If you couldn't remember yourself what it was like to be a child, looking at an owl and wondering what it might be thinking.
If I were an owl, I might be thinking, I wish there were more places like Blandford to hunt and look for mice.
If I were a bobcat, I would be thinking, I am so happy Blandford takes care of me because I can meet so many kids.
If I were a turtle, I would be thinking, this worm tastes so delicious.
Our natural environment and accessible animals spark creativity in children like nothing else. Here, within the major metropolitan city of Grand Rapids, are 143 acres visited by thousands of children and families each year. And while they're here, those children, however brief their visit, can feel what it's like to truly be in the woods, tend their own animals, or even to grow their own food.
If I were a pumpkin, I wouldn't say much at all except maybe,
There is no substitute for getting your own hands dirty in the garden, for collecting eggs from your own chicken, or for hiking through a forest and learning how to identify different trees and plants. There is nothing else like being a few feet away from a large bird of prey and learning how people and wild animals rely on each other every day.
If I were the red-tailed hawk, I would say, why don't more people come and visit me?
Visits to Blandford are remembered for a lifetime. Someday, any one of the children you see here will hold inside him or herself the memory of spending time on our grounds. They will remember making art with their family, watching the garden grow, and learning about frogs and snakes.
If I were that snake, I would be thinking, my tongue is getting very dried out from sticking it in and out all the time.
And for all its traditional programs, Blandford is also innovative in its approach to bringing in new visitors.
I think C.A. Frost being connected to Blandford Nature Center gives the students there an opportunity to actually go through the trails and be connected with the environment that C.A. Frost wants them to be. I've seen lots of wildlife. If we didn't have any of this, where would they be? And what would we be learning?
The fact is, Blandford has become more than it ever was in the past. We have adopted many new approaches to foster greater awareness of this jewel in our city. We are proud of where we're headed and proud of how we maintain the traditions that many of you personally cherish.
If I was the osprey, and I was all better, I would fly up into the sky and I would look all around and I would come back to Blandford because it's the best place for me to be.
On behalf of every family and every child you help with your support, we'd like to say thank you. We have come a long way, and together we have a long way to go.
Thank you, Blandford!
Thank you, Ryan. Let's hear it for Ryan, the auctioneer. I counted and Ryan said thank you 13 times. So I'm going to say thank you one time. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for us at Blandford tonight. I would like to invite those of you who are not freezing yet to join us at the campfire for some s'mores. Otherwise, if you're taking off for the night, enjoy the evening, have a safe trip home, and we hope to see you next year, but several times before then as well. Good night.